mean, Aid's highly controversial. Why would you choose to represent him?
We are not making this up. That is former Attorney General Tom Horne, and he's now representing advocates for individuals with disabilities, the serial suers that filed 1,700 disability lawsuits last year.
This means Horne is now going up against his old office, which stepped in to stop the group and its lawsuits. Investigator Dave Biskobing has the exclusive interview.
So how and why does Tom Horne fit into all of this? Well, after the lawsuits were filed, the AG's office stepped in and got a judge to dismiss all of Aid's cases. And now the state wants the court to hold evidentiary hearings to prove Aid engaged in fraud and sanction them. And that's where Horne comes in. He's just been hired to defend Aid and its members. You know, one of the things I think is really interesting, which caught my attention, is that the former Attorney General is now in litigation against the current Attorney General. Why'd you choose to? I mean, what do you think about that?
I'm in litigation against the Attorney General a lot.
Tom Horne is downplaying it. Just look at his smile when we ask him about this case. It's high profile, and the stakes are high for Aid. The Attorney General's office says Aid was operating a fraudulent money-making scheme to squeeze millions out of businesses with drive-by parking lot lawsuits. I think it's fair to ask, whether you want to answer or not, why you would choose to represent this group.
Yeah, as I say, if it's not in my pleadings, I can't comment on it, but I feel very comfortable representing them.
Horne says it wasn't unethical for Aid to file 1,700 lawsuits, even though a person with disabilities never went to the businesses. That's because he says Arizona law is broad and unclear. Horne says that's the only issue here. He claims all of those fraud allegations should have been previously raised separately by the state and weren't. Therefore, they're now moot points since the cases have been dismissed.
It's over. It's not a live case anymore other than this motion.
So you're not denying that those things may have happened. You're saying that the state didn't bring it up and should have.
I'm not saying either way whether they happened. I'm trying to avoid getting into that discussion.
But still, Horne's the former Attorney General, and we uncovered Aid's behind-the-scenes money man, Gregory Crane, has a history of consumer fraud charges, including cases with the Attorney General's office. You don't have any sort of reservation, you know, as the former Attorney General in representing this group?
As I told you, I can only comment on things that are in our pleadings.
Okay. And given Aid's history, we had another question for Horne. I hate to ask this question. Are you worried about getting paid? They didn't pay their previous outside counsel.
I'm not worried.
Here's the recent lawsuit to prove it, and the judgment showing the hefty, unpaid legal bill. They owe them $80,000.
I'm not worried.
Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware of it, but I still am not worried.
In Dave's interview, Horne says he is confident Aid will win on this issue. We will have to wait and see. It could be months before all of this is decided.